Leading off for Alabama, number 34, B.B. Callahan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bearpin Park as we get set for championship series play. These are a couple of teams that fared well. One, obviously, a little better than the other in pool play as North Carolina comes in as the winner of Pool 2, while Alabama is the runner-up in Pool 4. But from this point on, the ground level, at least from the starting point, doesn't matter if you're a runner-up or a champ. What matters is if you are victorious and advance. And if you win this one, you've got some play at 8:30 tonight against the winner of the Florida-Virginia matchup. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. B.B. Callahan stepping into the box to begin things for Alabama, the center fielder. As we get play underway, there is a swing and a miss, and the count evens at 1 on Callahan. Offensively for Alabama, B.B. Callahan, the left center fielder, batting first. Second baseman Braden Bradley in the 2 spot. Knox Lawson, the shortstop, batting third. Diving catch from left center field, and Austin Yancey with a spectacular play to begin things for North Carolina as he denies B.B. Callahan an opportunity to get on.
Now batting number 2.
One away. Jacob Gary is the third baseman, batting fourth. Catcher Mo Callahan's got the 5 spot. Cam Kerbel is the 6th hitter. Ian Bryan, the right fielder, bats 7th. Will Barfield is the first baseman in the 8 spot. Jackson Lamy bats 9th. Jackson Harpole is the left fielder in the 10 spot. Will Kirk in the pitcher's circle bats 11th. And John Ben Wilkinson, the right center fielder, hitting 12th. Rolled slowly to Greeley at short. Throw over to first. Nicholson's got it, and there's 2 away.
Now batting number 1, Knox Lawson.
2 gone for Knox Lawson. North Carolina's defense, Jack Divitt is in the circle beside the machine. Behind the plate, Thomas Gaddy. The first baseman is Marshall Nicholson. Trevor Yancey at second. Shortstop Paul Greeley. Chase Brimmer is at third in the outfield. Will Parrish in left. Left center, Austin Yancey. Right center field, Zachary White. And the right fielder is Marcus Spears. So there you have it. The offense, the defense. We're in the top of the first. A couple of quick outs. And how about 3 quick outs? Knox Lawson wrapping into the 4-3. 3 go up, 3 go down. And the top part of the inning took right about 2 minutes to complete as Callahan, Bradley, and Lawson go down for Alabama. We head to the bottom of the first, top of the North Carolina order, 60 seconds from now.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on his 6.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Paul Greeley starting off the bottom of the first.
Number 15.
We'll get the shout-outs in the second, but, you know, this is kind of an appropriate shout-out with Paul Greeley coming to the plate. So we're going to break from our shout-out rules of starting in the second for just a moment. This one says, let's get it started, Paul. Love Anna. I'd say that's a pretty good introduction to Paul Greeley. The shortstop who will start things off for North Carolina. Chase Brimmer is the third baseman batting second. Trevor Yancey playing second will bat third. Will Parrish, the left fielder, batting fourth. Zachary White plays right center and bats fifth. Marshall Nicholson is the first baseman in the 6th spot. Austin Yancey playing left center field, bats seventh. Jack Divitt in the pitcher's circle will bat 8th. Ford Hunter is batting 9th. It is hit right back up the middle to Kirk, and Kirk hobbled a bit. That not only got hand, but may have got the shin as well of Will Kirk. And Kirk has got a little wobble to the gate as Greeley is on to begin things for North Carolina. And now Kirk will go over to Coach and say, Coach, I got a banged up fender. But he's bobbing the head up and down. You know, Will Kirk knows this is the World Series. And these are youngsters who are going to play through pain like Will Kirk probably just told his coach, Coach, listen, I'm okay. The bone may be broken, but I'll continue to play. Well, it's not broken, I don't think. Just got
now batting number 34,
shaken up a bit. A little
Bremer.
baseball on the shin doesn't feel good at any age. But Will Kirk fine as Chase Bremer steps in. Rest of that lineup, it is Thomas Gaddy, who is the catcher, batting 12th. Did I mention Colin Fisher, the 11 hitter, and Marcus Spear playing right field, batting 10th for North Carolina. Alabama's got obviously Will Kirk in the circle. Behind the plate is Mo Callahan, fouled off by Bremer. At first, Will Barfield. The second baseman is Braden Bradley. Shortstop belongs to Knox Lawson. Jacob Gary is at third. Shot up the middle. That is a Chase Bremer base hit that will get beyond B.B. Callahan. And off to third goes Greeley. Bremer will pull into second.
Now
So a
batting
couple of base
number
runners
23,
on, both in scoring position with nobody out for North Carolina. Trevor Yancey with Will Parrish to follow. The rest of that Alabama defense, the outfield has Jackson Harpole in left. The left center fielder is B.B. Callahan. Right center field belongs to John Ben Wilkinson. And Ian Bryan is in right. Fouled out of play by Yancey. North Carolina in the red, white with a little black splashed in. Alabama with the blue and white and a little yellow splashed in. Two-hopper goes to short, fielded by Lawson, fires over to first, gets the out there. Meanwhile, back over to third, toss to Gary, trying to lay the tag on Bremer. Bremer will be able to slide in away from the tag. Yancey out on the 6-3 for out number one, but it does drive in the first North Carolina run. As Greeley will score from third. Bremer is now at third with one away in a one-run game. Kirk over to first, looked to third, was thinking about the force out, but the force out was no longer in play because Bremer had gone to third on the Yancey 6-3 putout.
Now batting number 4.
So Will Parrish is safely at first, and Bremer will come in and score to make it a 2-zip North Carolina lead. Zachary White steps in. Another good-looking day here in Cleveland, Mississippi, as it is hit towards right field. Was that a catch on the shoestring levels by Ian Bryan? Let's see if the officials have yet to indicate, but I think so. And yeah, Zachary White out on a nice catch by Bryan in right, and that will require some teammates giving some high and low fives to Bryan. Two gone, Parrish still at first. And Marshall Nicholson will step in when you get the second for Alabama, as it is popped up to short of the catch made by Lawson. And second inning for Alabama, Gary Callahan and Kerbal. They're all coming up. Couple of runs played in the bottom of the first. North Carolina takes a 2-zip lead into the second. We get to your shout-outs, too, and we head into inning number 2, 60 seconds from now.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Top of the second, Jacob Gary starting things off. Mo Callahan, Cam Kerbel due up in the inning, too. It's the second inning, so that's when we officially begin the text wars. Got a couple of teams that typically text very well. Their fans do, Alabama and North Carolina, so you probably know the process by now. But if not, if you're a newcomer to the text thing, a rookie to our coverage, there's a number above your scoreboard, 334-488-1385, popped up towards left center field, and the catch made there by Austin Yancey, and Jacob Gary is quickly out number one.
Now batting number 21.
But that shout-out number is the number that you send text to. Cheer on a team member or a team. That's prerequisite number 1. 2 is let us know where you are watching from. City, state, country, the geographical region. 3 would be if it's a unique spot, although, as I mentioned previously, these days with the ability to bring the mobile device with you, you can watch the game just about anywhere. But if it's something quite creative, fouled back by Callahan, how about including that too? And if you want to send proof of the creativity, of the uniqueness, well, send a selfie. We'll get it on Facebook in a bit. All to the number on your scoreboard, 334-488-1385. Fouled back towards the screen by Callahan. 334-488-1385. As we open up the phone lines for your shout-outs. Quick look at scores, by the way, from your 1 o'clock round of games, as this one has popped up in the direction of left field. That will drop in front of Will Parrish, and Mo Callahan on with a single with one away in the Alabama second. Base runner on for Cam Kerbel.
Now batting number 8, Cam Kerbel.
In your consolation games at 1 in machine pitch, Texas blanks Georgia 13-zip. Louisiana shuts out Cleveland 15-zip. Coach pitch, Cleveland a 19-6 winner over Virginia, and the Alabama-Arkansas game still rolling. It's in the 6th, and the reason for the length of that game was a lengthy protest prior to the start of the game from Alabama. So the game got a late start, and it's in the 6th with Alabama leading it 15-9. Cam Kerbel wraps it to Greeley at short, goes to second for 1, throw on to first, cannot get 2. Taking the turn is Kerbel. He will go to second, get there safely. So Kerbel wraps into the 6-4, then gets Callahan, then Kerbel will go to second. There's 2 away for Ian Bryan.
Now batting number 4, Ian Bryan.
Will Barfield moves to the on-deck circle. 334-488-1385. I see the shout-outs begin to pour in, so we want to pour into them or tear into them. Let's go Alabama. Bring it back to Fairhope from Jacob and Emily. Thanks, Jacob and Emily. Hot shot over the head of Parrish. Parrish gets on his horse for a ride to the fence, trying to track down the Ian Bryan shot. Meanwhile, Kerbel will come in and score. Bryan putting on the brakes, rounding second, will go back to the bag. It's an RBI double that cuts the North Carolina lead in half.
Now batting number 17, Will Barfield.
Big clutch hit by Ian Bryan, as the double with 2 away drives in a run, and the tying run now in scoring position for Will Barfield. Jackson Lamy moves to the on-deck circle. Good luck to Alabama and Will Barfield from Busha and Papa George. I make that Papa watching in Georgetown, Texas. Got ahead of myself. One hopped into the mid of Parrish. Throw quickly coming in and able to get the foot back onto the bag at third is Bryan. Over on the other side of the diamond, Barfield with a single. And their runners on the corners here in the top of the second for Alabama, including the tying run at third for Jackson Lamy.
Now batting
so good luck, Alabama, and
Lamy.
Will Barfield from Busha and Papa watching in Georgetown, Texas. Go Braden Bradley. Go Alabama. Love your cousins in Atlanta, Georgia. And thanks for the shot of the cousins watching the coverage and enjoying a day at the pool there in Atlanta. Good luck, Alabama. Love from Rosemary Beach, Florida. Right-hander Jackson Lamy with a couple of base runners on. Pops this one up towards center field, and reaching over to make the catch is Zachary White to put it into the inning. Couple of base runners stranded, but the one run that plates cuts the North Carolina lead in half. It's a 2-1 North Carolina advantage. Bottom of the second coming up, Yancey, Divitt, and Hunter when we return to Cleveland, Mississippi.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Your first batter will be number 35, Austin Yancey.
Well, you see that the officials, they have come over to the screen and conversed with our PA guy, and they have asked for Tommy Henry. Tommy Henry, one of the officials with Dixie Youth Baseball, which would indicate obviously that there has been, I would assume, some form of a protest lodged, although I guess it is possible that the officials have just run into a situation in which they want to know the answer before proceeding on. Typically, though, when you have these type of scenarios where one of the Dixie Youth officials goes down to the field beneath, it is for the purpose of answering a question that has been lodged by one of the two teams. So that's why we've got a pause as the officials are waiting for the arrival of the Dixie Youth official. I heard them say Tommy. I don't know if that's Tommy Reams or Tommy Henry. Probably Tommy Reams. He has been down on the field previously. Tommy Henry has been up in the box. Nope, that's a different Tommy. So not sure which official they are speaking with by last name, but they did ask for Tommy. So that's the conversation that is ongoing. And boy, the conversation was brief. That didn't take long. Whatever the question was, it was answered with a few words. Your officiating crew in this one, Joe Willoughby is behind the plate. Ty Durbin is at first, and Grant Williamson is at third. So those are the officials that just needed some word from Tommy, and that word was brief and to the point. To the baseball as Austin Yancey steps in. Rolls it up the middle. Kirk will scoop up. Fires over to first. Gets Yancey on the 1-3.
Now batting number 3, Jack Divitt.
One away for Jack Divitt. More shout-outs. Let's go Colin Fisherman, South Park Thunder. Let's go Willie J. and Team Alabama from Macy in Gulf Shores. Good luck to number 4, Ian Bryan, and his team from Ed Gwynn in Mobile. Found out a play by Jack Divitt. Speaking of Jack, right on cue. We love you, Jack Divitt in North Carolina. What a beautiful day for baseball. Love your cousins Garrison, Emery, and Alice. Go Fairhope, Honey, and Apple. And happy birthday to Coach Bucky Greenlee. Love Hannah. So Coach Greenlee celebrating a birthday here in Cleveland, Mississippi. And I'm sure that his team would love to give him the gift of a victory, and I'm sure that Alabama would like to wish him a happy birthday and spoil those birthday plans. 334-488-1385. Jack Dibbett taking the 1-2 pitch. No swing. Count evens up. Ford Hunter moves to the on-deck circle. In towards second. Bradley bobbles, recovers. 2 first in time to get Dibbett on the 4-3.
Now batting number 8, Ford Hunter.
Ford Hunter to the plate. Marcus Spears to the on-deck circle. 2 gone, nobody aboard. We're in the bottom of the second, North Carolina and Alabama. Here on JockJive.com. By the way, we do stuff all over the country. Little stuff from the standpoint, and I don't mean little as in the event, big event here, but little from the standpoint of our coverage. Just me, a mic, and a camera, basically.
Now batting number 31,
whole 9 yards.
Spears.
Full production. As Ford Hunter gets on with a single for Marcus Spears. So a 2-out Hunter hit has got Spears at the plate with the base runner at first. But if you'd like more information as to how we might could put something together for you, swatted over towards short, going to his left, Lawson. It bounces off the mitt, travels into center field. Hunter on his way to third. He will get there safely. And meanwhile, with a throw to third to get Hunter, Marcus Spears takes the opportunity to get to second.
Now batting number 6, Colin Fisher.
Couple of base runners in scoring position. They get there after 2 go down. Yancey and Dibbett ground out, but then Hunter and Spears get on. And Colin Fisher comes to the plate with a couple of base runners aboard, and North Carolina trying to grow that lead again. It was a 2-zip advantage at the end of 1. And North Carolina trying to make it at least 2 or more after 2. Alabama trying to keep it close. Fouled back against the screen. 2 strikes on Colin Fisher. 334-488-1385 to send shout-outs. No swing on the pitch. 1-2 on Fisher. Alabama's third has Harpole, Kirk, and Wilkinson coming up into right field. Delivering is Fisher, coming in is Hunter, following is Spears. Collision to the plate, and able to get in underneath the Callahan tag is Spears. Ball getting away from Callahan. Meanwhile, the throw will go into left field, and that's going to get Fisher in too. And the celebration by the North Carolina youngsters as Fisher will score as well. And by the way, that is Kerbel now, who is behind the plate. So between Spears and Kerbel, and then the throw into left field. And all in all, 3 will score, and those 3 played after 2 go down. And North Carolina has built their largest lead of the game. Into foul territory from Thomas Gaddy. Top of the order, Paul Greeley awaits on deck. Harpole, Kirk, and Wilkinson when you get to the Alabama third. More shout-outs. Let's go blue from the Rices in Fairhope. Go Thunder. Good luck, Thomas Gaddy from Cherryville, North Carolina. Rolled over towards first. Barfield picked it up, bobbled, picked it back up, and got over to the bag before Gaddy. 6 go up, 3 come in, 3 go down. Nobody left on. It's a 5-1 North Carolina lead as we head to the third here on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Bottom of the order, top of the third. Jackson Harpole starting things off. Will Kirk, John Ben Wilkinson, 2 up in the inning, 2. Another 6-game day here on Field 2. Had 6 games yesterday, 6 games today. Yesterday's play started at 10 a.m. and went until about 8 o'clock. So our 1 o'clock start today may mean about 11 o'clock this evening here. But when we get through today, a much clearer picture, certainly not completely decided, but a much clearer picture as to what lies ahead.
Now,
where that
3,
big
Jackson
piece of
Harpole.
hardware might be headed. We'll at least trim down the spots that it could be situated. Off Facebook, Aunt Gwen is watching you play, Ian Bryan. And Aunt Gwen says she is going to send a shout-out too. And I think Aunt Gwen may have sent a shout-out previously. 334-488-1385. It is smacked by Harpole to third. Throw by Bremer across the diamond, and Nicholson pulls Nicholson off the bag, and Harpole is on to begin the Alabama third.
Now batting number 11, Will Kirk.
1 on for Will Kirk. John Ben Wilkinson moving to the on-deck circle. More shout-outs. Let's go North Carolina. The town of Regalwood is proud of you. I'm watching my cousins play. I'm texting from Charlotte, North Carolina. From Jamel Wiggins. Very much. Count even 1 apiece. I mentioned it's busy today. How busy? Well, here's an idea. As this one is rolled towards Greeley at short, looked quickly to second, didn't have a throw there, and then rushes the throw to first, overshoots his target. Harpole winds up at third, and Kirk safely at first.
Now batting number 6, John Ben Wilkinson.
So a couple of base runners on as John Ben Wilkinson comes to the plate. Your 2:30 matchups in machine pitch, Florida and Virginia. Of course, this matchup, North Carolina and Alabama. As the left-hander Wilkinson steps in. Coach pitch, 2:30 games. Popped up to third, catch made by Bremer. And Wilkinson is out, number 1.
Now batting number 34, B.B. Callahan.
Coach pitch baseball at 2:30, North Carolina and Florida, Mississippi and Georgia. Your 4 o'clock machine pitch games, Mississippi, Arkansas, South Carolina, Tennessee. Your coach pitch, Tennessee, South Carolina, Texas, and Louisiana. And then, of course, your 7 o'clock and 8:30 games are the winners and losers as it is hit to Greeley. Bobbled it. Cannot make the throw to second to get Will Kirk, nor to first to get B.B. Callahan. In to score is Harpole. And it's a 5-2 game.
Braden Bradley.
Couple of base runners on as Kirk goes to second. Callahan at first. Braden Bradley, the right-hander, steps in. Wrapped down the line towards third, and that will skip over the mid of Bremer into left field. Parrish will retrieve quickly. Bases all loaded up for Alabama.
Now
that may have been a Bremer that just got a little over anxious because he knew there was a force out at third. You get it, you get the out. And broke with his move towards third before the ball was in the mid. And that loads things up for Knox Lawson. Lawson hit into a 4-3 in the first. He is 0 for 1. Jacob Gary moving to the on-deck circle. More shout-outs go NC Thunder and Ford Hunter. Shout-out from Ford's grandmother. Bring it home. Hit right up the middle, picked up by Fisher, fires home, and it pops out of the mitt. The catcher, that is Chris Fisher. Let's see. No clue is wearing. Fisher was the guy who made the throw. It is Fort Hunter who cannot hang on to the toss.
Now
Fisher
batting,
fields.
5.
Hunter receives, pops out of Hunter's mitt. Base is still loaded. And now a 5-3 contest. As here comes Alabama back into the game. Uncharacteristically, North Carolina having some defensive breakdowns that have led to Alabama runners and thus Alabama runs. There have been 4 errors committed here in the third, as Jacob Gary, who popped up to center field in the second, bats. Lifts this one towards center field. It will drop in. Throw going to second and got the out there on the force out. Meanwhile, Callahan will come in and score from third.
Now batting 21.
Bradley at third, and Gary
Callahan.
wrapping into one of those unusual 8-6 putouts to get out number 2. Runners at first and third, but now a 1-run game. Popped up to third, and there the catch will be made by Bremer. 3 go down, but Alabama gets to within 1 as they plate the same 3 that North Carolina did in the bottom of the second. It's a 5-4 contest with the bottom of the third and the top of the order due up for North Carolina. You are watching the 2017 Dixie Youth AA Machine Pitch World Series on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Hurts gets hit.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field. $6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Now batting number 15, Paul Greeley.
Bottom of the third, top of the order, Paul Greeley got a brand new ball game after Alabama scored 3 in the top of the third. It's a 1-run game. Greeley going the opposite way, diving to try to get to the shot by Greeley is Jackson Harpaul. Can't come up with it. Greeley puts on the brakes at second, trots back to the bag with a leadoff double.
Now batting number 34, Chase Brimmer.
Lead off aboard for Chase Brimmer. Trevor Yancey to the on-deck circle. Let's get to more shout-outs. Good luck, Will Kirk and Team Alabama from DD in Fairhope. Brimmer with a single and a run scored in the first. Trevor Yancey is on deck. Ground to short, a little bit of an odd hop. Lawson able to play it over to first. Not in time, safe there. Throw it back across the diamond to third, and Greeley will get to third. Meanwhile, Bremer takes the opportunity to go to second. The throw from Gary into right field. Greeley comes in and scores. Bremer's off and running, and the low throw to Gary back at third allows Bremer to come in and score 2.
Now batting number 22, Trevor Yancey.
Base is cleared, 2 come in. And it is a 7-4 North Carolina lead for Trevor Yancey. Popped up on the infield. Drifting back is Bradley at second. He'll make the catch. 1 away. One out for Will Parrish.
Now batting number 9, Will Parrish.
Zachary White to the on-deck circle. Parrish 1 for 1 with an RBI. Had a single and drove in the run in the first. No swing on the opening pitch. Alabama will have Kerbal, Bryan, and Barfield due up. when you get to the top of the fourth. Sliced in the direction of right field. And that is a base hit, a one-out single for Will Parrish.
Now batting number 14, Zachary White.
Zachary White 0 for 1. Popped out to right in the first. Marshall Nicholson is on deck. You get a compliment potentially of 5 pitches. Don't have to wait until the 5th one. You can swing on any of the 5. Roll towards Lawson at short. Lobs it over to second. Gets the out of the lead runner. And there's 2 gone with White, the base runner, at first.
Now batting number 27, Marshall Nicholson.
Marshall Nicholson with a fly out to short. He was the last out in the first inning. Batting here in the third with Austin Yancey moving to the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss by Nicholson. Well, I know I mentioned previously about Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But you know we're on a push, right, to get to 10,000 likes. Popped up towards right field. And there to make the catch is Ian Bryan. Nicholson will go down. Alabama will head to the top of the fourth, sending Kerbal, Bryan, and Barfield to the plate. Down by 3. North Carolina 7. Alabama 4. Back with the fourth in 60.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Two on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
Is your final. Championship T-shirt. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Now batting number 8, Cam Kerbal.
Top of the fourth, Cam Kerbal starting things off for Alabama. Ian Bryan, Will Barfield due up in the inning too. Hit into center field, and Alabama's got their lead off on. So Kerbal gets on to begin the Alabama fourth. Ian Bryan coming to the plate. Here in the top part of the fourth. Nothing in the first, 1 in the second. 3 runs in the third for Alabama. 2 in the first, 3 in the second. A couple of runs in the third for North Carolina. And a 7-4 lead. Hit to Greeley at short, goes to his knees to field, then it slides beyond him onto the grass. Bryan safe at first, Kerbal is at second.
Now batting number 17.
And Alabama's tying run comes to the plate in the form of Will Barfield. Well, I mentioned Facebook. All right, now, we won 10,000 by the end of the summer. Had a pretty big day yesterday, picked up about 120 likes. So I'm thinking if we do about 100 likes today, get to 9,550. Keeps us on track to 10,000. Line right at third baseman Brimmer. Overshoots second, trying to pick off Kerbal. Kerbal will hop up and head towards third. Bryan at second. Barfield out on the line out for out number 1, but the throwing error allows runners to advance. And now base runners at second and third for Jackson Lamy. Jackson Harpole to the on-deck circle.
Now batting number 37.
But here's what I'm thinking
Jackson
with Facebook.
Lamy.
If we pick up 102 likes today, that gets us at 9,550. I'm thinking by the end of this tourney, if we're around 97, then by the end of the rest of the stuff we've got this summer, we're at 10 grand. Hit to Greeley. Fields over to first. Gets the out. 6-3 of Lamy, but in from third comes Kerbal. And Lamy will pick up the RBI. It's a 2-run game. So again, don't close out the browser that's got you the game coverage. I mean, we don't want you to miss any of the game. Just open up a brand new browser and then tell your friends and neighbors and have a big get-together and have a rally the likes for JockJive on Facebook get-together. All right, maybe that's a little far-fetched, but friends and neighbors, get them to do the same, and before you know it, we'll be at the 10. Trying to get to 95.50 today, and I think today's been kind of slow as far as the start goes. Now, why would you want to follow us on Facebook? Roll over towards second, trickles over the mid of Yancey, in from third, Bryan. And Harpole on as we're back to a 1-run game again.
Now batting number 11, Will Kirk.
Will Kirk, who reached on an error and scored in the third, batting here in the fourth. Well, here's the reasoning for the Facebook stuff. One is we give you scores, the finals. Into pool play, you knew who won each pool. Swing and a miss by Kirk. I saw last night where somebody asked about the brackets for today. We had that posted shortly thereafter. If there are weather delays, you get information on that. Over towards Parrish, in left, and it will trickle off the mid roll. Parrish trying to track it down. Meanwhile, Harpole rides his way towards third, comes on home. Kirk will stay at second. And Alabama has tied this one up at 7.
Now batting number 6, John Ben Wilkinson.
Alabama's got the go-ahead run in scoring position for the 12-hitter John Ben Wilkinson. B.B. Callahan to the on-deck circle, and now the birthday boy wants to talk with his team. Greeley celebrating a birthday today. The coach of North Carolina chatting with his players. But where Facebook is concerned, scores, schedules, selfies, pictures, weather information, all that kind of stuff. And you know how social media works. You can post your thoughts too. Good or bad, okay. I admit, I kind of like the good better than the bad, but can handle the bad as well. So all kinds of reasons to like us and follow us. Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will thank you a bit in advance for helping us reach the goal of 10,000 likes by the end of the summer. John Ben Wilkinson with an opportunity to give Alabama their first lead of the game. Wraps it towards first. Nicholson's got it, steps on the bag, and gets Wilkinson out. Leaves Kirk on, but Alabama will leave the top of the fourth and head to the bottom part of the inning, all knotted up at 7 with North Carolina. This is the 2017 Dixie Youth Baseball AA Machine Pitch World Series on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Bottom of the fourth, Austin Yancey starting things off. Jack Dibbett, Ford Hunter due up in the inning 2 for the North Carolina team. We are tied up at 7. A couple of times Alabama's been down by 3. Fought to within 1. First time down by 3. and knocks it up. Second time down by 3. Yancey into left field. The diving attempt to get there by Harpole comes up empty. Ball rolls, and Yancey's running off to second. Heads towards third, and will get there safely. Austin Yancey beginning the North Carolina fourth with a 3-bagger.
Now batting number 3, Jack Divitt.
Runner at third, Jack Divitt coming to the plate. An opportunity to give North Carolina the lead back and break the 7-7 tie. North Carolina has plated runs in every inning. Scored a couple of runs in the first, 3 runs in the second, couple of runs in the third, and batting here in the fourth. Jack Divitt wrapped into the 4-3 his last at-bat. Hit up the middle. That will drive in the tie-breaking run as the throw is a little tall over at first. Barfield trying to get to it. A collision between he and Divitt. Everybody's okay as Yancey will come in and score, and North Carolina reclaims the lead.
Now batting number 8, Ford Hunter.
Divitt at first. Hunter steps in. Spears moves to the on-deck circle. Hit to Kirk. Goes to second. The stretch at second, and now we're going to have an appeal. Officials confirming between one another if Bradley hung on, and he did. Ty Durbin at first needed the help of Joe Willoughby, the plate umpire, but the decision made. And Kirk got it to his second baseman, Bradley, and Divitt is out
number 31, Marcus
on the
Spears.
1-4. Out number 1. Hunter now the base runner at first, 1 away, and Marcus Spears steps in. Spears with a single and a run scored in the second. Colin Fisher moves to the on-deck circle. The left-hander swings and misses. Spears 1 for 1 in this one. Batting in that 10 spot with Hunter, the base runner, at first, 1 and 2 now. One ball, couple of strikes, no swing on the pitch, and the count will even up. Well, thank you very much for the shout-out on Facebook, which is, well, basically, is that is a swing and a miss by Spears, and he is out number 2 with a strikeout.
Now batting number 6, Colin Fisher.
Spears not particularly pleased with himself as he heads back to the dugout. Colin Fisher comes to the plate. Hunter over at first. Thomas Gaddy moves to the on-deck circle. Alabama will go to the top of their order in the 5th. 48 minutes into this one here in the bottom part of the 4th. But again, thanks so much for the shout-out via Facebook. And the kind words actually meant for another game. Great job, Alabama. Keep it going, says the shout-out at 334-488-1385. Colin Fisher singled, advanced on an error, came in and scored a run in the second. Sunny in Cleveland, Mississippi. Very windy again, as it has popped up to the right side. Trying to make a catch up against the fence is Will Barfield. Not able to get to it, and the Fisher at-bat will continue. Yesterday, the winds right to left, now, for the most part, blowing out. But very brisk here in Cleveland. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, gusts on occasions better than 20. Into center field, just past the diving attempt by Bradley, and Fisher with a single that's got Hunter to second.
Now batting number 10, Thomas Gaddy.
Couple of base runners on for Thomas Gaddy. Top of the order moves to the on-deck circle. Gaddy pops it over towards the dugout at third. B.B. Callahan begins the Alabama 5th. North Carolina, the one-run advantage. We are here in the bottom part of the fourth. Gaddy driving this one to second. Bradley's got it, tags out Fisher. One-run plates, not a 7-7 game, no longer tied, but not a big lead, just one for North Carolina. As we head to the top of the order, in the top of the fifth, Bama sending Callahan, Bradley, and Lawson to the plate after the break.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on his 6.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
B.B. Callahan starting off the top of the fifth for Alabama. Bradley knocks Lawson 2 up in the inning, 2. Callahan, he is 0 for 2, has popped out to center field, reached on a Greeley error, and scored a run. No swing on the opening pitch to Callahan. North Carolina with the one-run advantage in the top of the fifth. There has been, to my knowledge, been one extra inning game in the World Series thus far. Greeley with a nice play at short to knock down the Callahan shot. Throws over to first, not in time, but that is
number 2.
not due to Greeley.
Braden Bradley.
Excellent job defensively. Infield Callahan single. And the tying run on for Alabama for Braden Bradley. Hits it towards Yancey. Yancey can't bring it in. Meanwhile, Greeley's got it at short, fires over to third, and the tag at third by Brimmer laid on Callahan. What a play by both Greeley and Brimmer. Greeley with the throw and Brimmer with the catch with the incoming Callahan.
Now batting number 1, Knox Lawson.
So Callahan tagged out at third. Bradley will go to second. And there is one away for Knox Lawson. Jacob Gary's on deck. Left-hander awaits. Machine delivers. Count evens up 1 apiece. A ball, a strike and out, a base runner. All here in a one-run game in the top of the fifth. Fouled out a play to the opposite side by Lawson. Quick reminder, game available for your viewing after the fact. Same spot where you watch the live coverage of the game. You got the archived coverage. You want your very own copy? That's possible too. $10 a DVD. Email info, I-N-F-O, info at JockJive.com. 1-2 pitch, no swing. Count evens up, and here's the last pitch to Lawson. Got a swing on this one. Coach puts ball in machine, popped up over towards Parrish, in left, drops it. And everybody is safe. Throw will go to second, able to slide in safely as Lawson with the throw to second. Bradley hops up, comes home. He will get around the would-be tag of Thomas Gaddy. And Bradley has tied this one up.
Now batting number 5. Jacob
And now
Drury.
North Carolina wants conversation with Joe Willoughby. Thought that the throw was there in time to Gaddy and thought Gaddy had laid the tag on Bradley. But Blue says, and of course today I guess we kind of call him Red. Red says Bradley's safe. Knocks the base runner at second. That's the go-ahead run for Alabama. Tied at 8 apiece. Mo Callahan is on deck. Go-ahead run at second into center field. Let's see if Lawson will plate. Nope, he puts on the brakes at third. And we'll hold there. Gary with a single is at first.
Now batting number 21, Mo Callahan.
And Alabama poised to take their first lead here in the top part of the fifth with Mo Callahan coming to the plate. He is 1 for 2 in the game. Cam Kerbel to be on deck circle. No swing on the opening pitch to Callahan. North Carolina in the fifth. They will start with the top of their order. Popped up. Shallow left and dropped by Greeley as he contended with Will Parrish, the left fielder. Throw coming in, trying to get Lawson. Cannot. He will score. And Alabama's got their first lead. Well, there was a collision between Parrish and Greeley. I don't think it was substantial. So I think both guys likely stay in the game. But you had Greeley drifting back onto the grass and knew that Parrish was incoming. And they had a collision of sorts that still got Parrish down. Greeley is up, and now Parrish will hop up as well. So coaches, officials out checking on the youngsters, Parrish and Greeley. Greeley got up quicker than Parrish. Parrish up now. And apparently everybody's okay as the surgical unit, the medic team, gives the thumbs up and the okay to both youngsters. So good to see that both are okay. And we'll be able to continue to play in a 9-8 game. Boy, these are one of the games that you don't want to come out of any game. But you definitely don't want to come out of a game like this one. Cam Kerbel, 1 for 2. Lifts it into left field, and that is a base hit throw going to third, and Bremer not able to get to the bag and tag out Gary. He's safely there. Runners at first, second, and third for Alabama after the Kerbel single.
Now batting number 4, Ian Bryan.
Still just 1 out. And Ian Bryan coming to the plate. Bryan with a double and reached on an error, drives this one towards left field. That will get over the head of Parrish. It will also get over the head of Austin Yancey, both on their way to track it down. Gary comes in and scores. Callahan scores. Kerbel scores. Going to third is Bryan. He will hold up there and clears the bases with a triple. A bases clearing 1-out triple from Ian Bryan.
Will Barfield.
And Alabama's got their largest lead of the game, a 4-run advantage here in the top of the fifth. Will Barfield with 1 away. He has singled and reached on an error. Jackson Lamy moves to the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss by Barfield. North Carolina chomping at the bit to get to the bottom of the fifth when the top of their order comes to the plate. Meanwhile, Alabama content with hanging around the top of the fifth a bit longer. Rolls over the mid of Bremer. In from third comes Bryan. Barfield watching the ball roll in and then get away from second baseman Yancey. Tracked down by Spears. Thrown to Bremer, and Bremer able to tag out Barfield. Nice job by Spears to get it over to Bremer. Bremer able to tag out Barfield.
Jackson Laney.
Barfield will pick up the RBI, but will get tagged out at third for out number 2. Foul back this direction by Jackson Lamy. More shout-outs go Jack and North Carolina. Love Grandma and Grandpa Dibbett from Sarasota, Florida. Rolls slowly towards Greeley. Steps in, steps up, and steps over with a toss to get Lamy on the 6-3. But a big inning for Alabama. They score a total of 6 and turn a 1-run deficit into a 5-run lead. We head to the top of the order in the bottom of the 5th. North Carolina coming to bat, and for the first time in the game, down to Alabama.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on his 6.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Batting, number 15, Paul Greeley.
Bottom of the 5th, top of the order. Paul Greeley starting things off for North Carolina. North Carolina has never gone into an inning down, and obviously as a result, they've never been down by 5 in this one. As it is rolled towards second, Bradley cannot recover, and after the bobble, Greeley is on.
Now batting, number 34.
So North Carolina saying, you know, they scored 5 in an inning. Actually 6. We think we can do the same. More shout-outs. This one says, good hit, Ian Bryant. By the way, we're very busy this summer. Popped up into left center field. B.B. Callahan's got it. Throw back over to first. Diving in safely is Greeley. And Bremer out on the fly out for out number 1.
Now batting, number 22, Trevor Yancey.
Trevor Yancey is 0-for-2, but has driven in a run. A 6-3 put out of Yancey in the first plated a run. 13-8 Alabama advantage after a big 5th inning. And North Carolina trying to recover from the 6-run inning. Another hit to left center, and again, Callahan's got it.
Now batting, number 9, Will Parrish.
2 away for Will Parrish. What lies ahead for these two teams? Well, if you win the contest, you're playing at 8:30 tonight against the Florida-Virginia winner. If you lose this one, then you play at 7 o'clock tonight and have the loser of that Florida-Virginia matchup. Hit towards right field, and that will sail over the head of Ian Bryan. Goes to the fence. Greeley's on his way to third. Rounds third, comes home at second. Parrish. And his double is driven in the 9th North Carolina run of the game.
Now batting, number 14, Zachary White.
Yesterday, by the way, nobody hit it out of the park. 24 games and no out-of-the-park home runs. And today, nothing out of the park. But there again, they're 7 and 8 years old, and I'm a little more than that, and I don't think I can hit it out of the park. It is a long way from the launching pad to the fence. Two hops slowly to Lawson, and he'll lob it over to first, but not in time to get Zachary White. Parrish goes to third. Infield White single, and runners are on the corners for North Carolina. Trying to churn up some 2-out runs. Marshall Nicholson with a couple of flyouts. One on the infield, one to the outfield. Austin Yancey on deck. Popped up on the infield, over at first. Barfield makes the catch, and a couple of base runners are left on. 1-run plates. It is a 4-run Alabama lead. We head to the 6th. Could be the final inning after 65 minutes of baseball. Alabama sending Harpole, Kirk, and Wilkinson to the plate when we return.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her gets set.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
Is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Top of the 6th, bottom of the order. Jackson Harpole starting things off for Alabama. Will Kirk, John Ben Wilkinson, 2 up in the inning, 2. Harpole's had a perfect day at the plate. Couple of trips to the dish, couple of singles, couple of runs scored, and an RBI. Rolls it slowly towards Brimmer. Trouble getting out of the box for Harpole, and that will give Brimmer an opportunity to send it over to first, and apparently that was a foul ball. And that's part of the reason that Harpole had problems getting out of the box. Apparently got the kneecap of Harpole before rolling towards third. So Harpole will get back into the box with a 1-1 count. Alabama trying to add to the 4-run lead. 1 ball, couple of strikes. Will Kirk, John Ben Wilkinson, both due up in the inning, 2. We are here in Cleveland this week on Tuesday and Wednesday. We've got Dixie Pre-Majors in Guntersville, Alabama, and the Dixie Majors in Monroe, Louisiana. AAA, Ozone, and Majors coming up starting Saturday in Oxford, Alabama. And also Saturday, we're in Ephrata, Washington for the Babe Ruth World Series for the 16 to 18-year-old age group. Well, apparently some after effects. Harpole getting popped by the pitch, got back into the box and then took a pitch and then began apparently to feel the pain of that toss that fouled off of him. And there is timeout on the field as they are tending to Harpole. While they do that, let's do this. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Well, earlier in the game, there was a request to have one of the Dixie Youth officials come down to the field, and apparently that same request has been made again. So there is something that is requiring the expertise of some of the officials who are versed on all the various rules and regulations concerning Dixie Youth Baseball. Well, it started with a Jackson Harpole at bat. And Harpole got popped by the pitch and really didn't look like there was any problems after the fact. But then he stepped back into the batter's box and apparently began to feel the pain of that fouled off pitch and asked for coaches. And after the meeting with the coaches and a trip to the dugout, the official, Joe Willoughby, comes to the fence and says, we need to talk to a Dixie Youth official. And I'm assuming then, and of course, you know, assuming can get you into trouble, but I'm making the assumption that it is related to some form of substitution. And that form of substitution would pertain to the continued Jackson Harpole at bat, I would again simply assume, with limited information. One ball, couple of strikes. And Joe Willoughby doing a little dishwashing, cleaning off the plate. And based on all body language, I'm thinking that maybe we're getting a new hitter. Let's see. Let's see if it is Harpole or if somebody else comes to the plate. And this looks like somebody else to me. And it is Jackson Lamy. And Lamy is the guy who ended the fifth. So apparently as a pinch hitter, Lamy, the last guy to bat, is going to finish the Harpole at bat. So again, I'm not privy to all rules regarding Dixie Youth Baseball, but when someone is taken out in the middle of an at-bat, popped over towards first, and there Nicholson makes the catch as Lamy, hitting for Harpole, is out number one. But apparently the substitution is the last batter to make it out.
11, Will Kirk.
And Will Kirk will come to the plate. So we will hope that Jackson Harpole is okay. Went to the dugout, and obviously it was serious enough that he could not complete his at-bat. Foul back by Kirk. Kirk reached on an error, doubled and drove in a run, scored a run as well. Batting here in the top of the sixth in a 1 hour, 13-minute game. Our longest game of the tournament here on this particular field is one that went an hour 34. That was the opening game yesterday. And this one may rival that one. Austin Yancey, Jack Dibbett, Ford Hunter when you get to the South Carolina, make that North Carolina, forgive me. I guess I had to do it once. As there was a swing and a miss by Kirk, and two gone.
Now batting number 6, John Ben Wilkinson.
North Carolina sends Yancey, Dibbett, and Hunter to the plate when you get to the bottom of the sixth. John Ben Wilkinson, two gone, nobody aboard in the sixth. Alabama trying to add some insurance, and if they are, John Ben Wilkinson will have to have something to do with it. As there are two gone. And the official asking if there is 2 or 3 outs. There have been 2 batters. Harpole started things, and I think probably that's why things got a little confused. Harpole started the inning and, of course, went down because of the injury, and Lamy had to come in and complete the at-bat. And then Kirk with a strikeout, and now John Ben Wilkinson batting. The count even at 1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Shout-outs, let's go Thunder, let's go. We love you, Chase, from Aunt Chris and Mimi from Richardson, Texas. Swing, but Wilkinson able to get just a piece of it to stay alive. A battle to stay on the winner's side of the bracket in the Machine Pitch World Series. And John Ben Wilkinson rolling it over towards first. Nicholson scoops it up, steps 1 foot to his left, and gets the out. 3 up, 3 down. Well, in reality, I guess it was a 4 up, 3 down. Nobody left aboard. 6th inning based on the injury to Harpole, which, of course, we hope is not serious, and he's back. What is back is the bottom of the 6th with Yancey, Diven, and Hunter. Alabama by 4 as we go to the bottom part of the inning here on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on his
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
Bottom of the 6th, Austin Yancey starting things off for North Carolina. They've got a 4-run deficit, want at least 4, need 5 if they're going to win it in the 6th. Alabama trying to keep North Carolina off the board. Shout-outs, this one says, let's go Thunder, need you to play at 8:30. 7 p.m. is not a good time for me. With a little cryy face emoji. Well, we'll see what North Carolina does as Yancey gets on to begin the 6th.
Now batting number 3,
By the way, I understand that movie, the Emoji Movie, is not good. Have you seen the reviews? I haven't watched the movie. As it is popped up in the direction of first, over behind the bag to make the catch is Will Barfield. And Jack Divitt is out, number 1.
Now batting number 8.
I must admit that the movie about emojis is not something that would appeal to moi. Ford Hunter with Marcus Spears to follow. A 13-9 contest. Win, you play at 8:30. Lose, you got a 7 o'clock matchup. Roll towards Kirk. Goes to second to get the lead runner. Or did he? No! Pulls the second baseman off the back, Bradley Brady. I'll make that Bradley. I am verbally dyslexic.
Now batting number 31, Marcus Spears.
So Bradley, his toe comes off the bag on the throw by Will Kirk. Hunter is over at first. Yancey, the base runner, at second. And Marcus Spears trying to drive some runners over and in. Spears with a single in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. He is 1 for 2 in the game. Colin Fisher on deck. North Carolina needing the 2 on and 2 more to tie. The 2 on and 3 more to win. 0-1 on Marcus Spears. Sends it right up the middle, got the machine. That will be a dead ball single, and the base is loaded.
Now batting number 6, Colin
Yancey to third, Hunter to second, Spears the base runner at first. And North Carolina has loaded it up with Colin Fisher coming to the plate. Thomas Gaddy moves to the on-deck circle, just to check to make sure the machine wasn't rattled enough to do some bad tosses to the plate. More shout-outs coming in. This one says, hustle, hit, never quit, North Carolina, from Texas. Tying run at the plate as there was a swing and a miss by Fisher. Winning run moves to the on-deck circle. Bases loaded, one away. Over towards first. Scooped up by the first baseman, Bearfield. In from third comes Yancey. Hunter will go to third. Spears to second. And there's two gone.
Now batting number 10, Thomas Gaddy.
Thomas Gaddy, the 12-hitter, trying to get his North Carolina team back to the top of the order. Alabama calling a timeout. For Alabama, it was all about the fifth. That 6-run fifth inning has spelled the difference in this one. Nothing in the first, a run in the second, 3 runs in the third, 3 in the fourth, but then that 6-run fifth that turned a 1-run deficit into a 5-run Alabama lead. North Carolina, 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, a run in the fourth, a run in the fifth, and to put one on the board in the sixth. Thomas Gaddy is 0 for 2. But he is trying to extend the bottom of the sixth and get North Carolina to the top of the order. Hunter, the base runner, at third. Spears is at second. Reach down, swats it to short. It bounces off the mid of Lawson, travels into left center field. Spears able to get to third. In to score is Hunter. Meanwhile, with a throw to third designed to get Spears, Gaddy will go to second.
Now batting number 15, Paul Greeley.
And North Carolina has gone back to the top of their order and have the tying run in scoring position with 2 gone. Paul Greeley has singled, doubled, and reached on an error. The left-hander with an extra base hit ties the game up. Chase Brimmer moves to the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch up the middle. Kirk trying to get to it. Cannot. Won't make a throw. And the run comes in from third. Spears to make it a 1-run game.
Now batting number 34, Chase Brimmer.
Tying run in scoring position. Winning run aboard. Here in the bottom of the sixth for North Carolina, trying to put together the improbable. Down by 4 coming into the bottom of the sixth. But they have plated 3 runs. Have Gaddy at second, Greeley at first for Chase Brimmer. Brimmer 1-2 for 3 as this one is socked into left field and then takes an evil hop over the mitt in left center of Callahan. Coming in to score is Greeley, rounding third. And scoring as well, Gaddy. And North Carolina has won it by 1 with a huge bottom of the sixth. Brimmer delivering with a shot that gets beyond Callahan. Gaddy will come in and score from second. Greeley all the way from first. And Alabama loses this one in the bottom of the sixth. And North Carolina advances victoriously 14-13. And we'll play at 8:30 tonight. Alabama will have a 7 o'clock showdown, so North Carolina stays unbeaten in championship play. Alabama sustains their first loss in the title matchup in the championship series. What a big inning by North Carolina. And how many runs did they plate with 2 outs? 1, 2, 2 big runs. So it was an inning that was scattered between outs and runs. Yancey, then an out. Hunter and Spears, then an out. Gaddy and Greeley, and this game becomes a North Carolina win. 14-13, your final score. Thanks so much for watching. We got lots more baseball to come. And coming up next, here on JockJive.com on this particular field number 2, you got the machine pitch matchup between South Carolina and Tennessee. It's about a half hour from now. See you then. North Carolina wins it by 1. I'm Robert Williamson. Thanks so much for watching JockJive.com and the 2017 Dixie Youth AA Machine Pitch Championship Series.